Rarely will you watch a cigar review video, read a blog, or just speak with another cigar smoker without the draw of a cigar coming up in conversation. People choose various brands of cigars, cigar sizes and shapes, types of cutters, and even what humidity level they store their cigars in, simply to get a better draw of their cigars. Well, that's no longer a concern with this precision PerfecDraw instrument. For the first time ever, you can have absolute control and fine-tune the draw of every cigar you smoke, regardless of how you cut or punch your cigar. It works on fat cigars and thin cigars and all cigar shapes. This is the PerfecDraw. Just unscrew and slide out the instrument. The PerfecDraw has been precisely designed with not only cutting blades, but also with tobacco pulling channels. The PerfecDraw grips onto some of the excess tobacco inside the cigar. It pulls and cuts at the same time to remove small bits of excess tobacco. We do not want to simply drill a hole up the middle of the cigar. We want to remove just a little tobacco while the pulling action loosens the tighter tobacco around the instrument so the smoke can travel more easily through the tobacco. Let me show you how this works. We'll start out with the popular Churchill-sized cigar. I've already cut the cigar and checked the draw. It is smokable, but it has a little tighter draw than I'd ideally like. I'll start out using the PerfecDraw just a little. I insert the sharp tip into the center and twist it just a little into the cigar. I only insert it a ½ inch. Then I'll remove the PerfecDraw. You can see the bits of tobacco it has removed. When cigars are rolled by hand, the tobacco is compressed at the end of the cigar to form the head and place the cap. Sometimes it's just the first ½ inch or so that needs to be loosened. So now I'll check the draw again. Okay, that's actually all it took. This is a perfect draw now. But what if it was still a little tighter than I'd like? I can insert the PerfecDraw a little deeper and recheck the draw until it's absolutely perfect. Now let's look at a large 60-ring size cigar. You can see that it also works very well on large ring size cigars. What about tapered cigars, like a Torpedo? Many enjoy the tapered feel of a Torpedo cigar. You don't want to cut too much of the tapered tip off because that would defeat the purpose of buying a Torpedo cigar. But when you cut only a little off the tip, often the draw is too tight. So you end up cutting almost the entire taper off the cigar. And again, it's because the cigar roller compressed the tobacco to form the tapered tip. Well, just watch this. I'll only cut a little off the tip so that I keep that tapered feel of the cigar. And of course, check the draw. If the draw is tighter than I'd like, I'll use the PerfecDraw. See how simple this is? And if the cigar is a little tight past the tip area, I can insert the PerfecDraw as deeply as I need to. Oh yeah, that's a perfect draw. Some would like to use a punch instead of a cigar cutter, because you get a smooth, clean end on your cigar without pieces of tobacco getting in your mouth. But using a punch often results in a tighter draw. See how a punch leaves a nice, clean end on these cigars? Watch how easily we can open up the draw. So if you would prefer using a punch, you could now have the best of both worlds. A smooth, clean surface and a perfect draw. And the PerfecDraw is also the perfect nubber. Just twist it into the nub like this, and it grips the nub securely. If you're like me, and just about every other cigar lover, the draw is a very important feature that adds to or takes away from how much you enjoy smoking every cigar. So be prepared to be spoiled. Once you start using the PerfecDraw and see what it can do, you'll be amazed how often you use it. Why settle for just an acceptable draw when you can have a perfect draw every cigar, every time? The technique of using the PerfecDraw is easy and it's fun, but you need to use it correctly. So make sure you watch the PerfecDraw technique video before you use the PerfecDraw. And if you'd like to learn more about the science and the engineering design behind the PerfecDraw, just watch that video on this website also. We cigar smokers love our toys, and the PerfecDraw is the most fun of all. Thanks for watching.